Hey there, I'm Shannon Roberts here on my YouTube channel, and I am sharing my health coach update. I did not share an update last Friday with good reason. I was in Washington on a trip with my husband, and it involved some hiking and music and waterfalls, and it was simply amazing. So we went out there last Tuesday, we did some hiking and saw some amazing waterfalls, and then Wednesday we did a hike around town. So we were in Leavenworth area, Leavenworth, Washington, and we did a pretty strenuous hike that was like straight up. And then we got a great view of the town below, because it's not a city, it was a town. And then Thursday we took it was close to a 10-mile hike there and back to Colchuck Lake, which was amazing. I'll throw in some footage of that hike, and it was just so wonderful and amazing. And then Friday we drove to the gorge and we watched an awesome concert both Friday and Saturday, and then we came home Sunday. So that is why I didn't provide an update, and it was well needed. I love the fact that Dr. DiNicolantonio, I'm so sorry if you ever see this. I really apologize. You'd think I'd get that down before I hop on here. He shares that waterfalls and mountains and that type of environment release charged molecules that get absorbed into our bodies and then release serotonin, which helps in managing stress better. Which fascinates me because right now I am working on my mind-body integration specialist certification, and we're talking all about stress. We are talking about how music can affect mood and the studies related to that. And we just started this week looking at the effects of stress on our health and how the brain will create pain or disease in response to stress. And the technical terminology for that is psychoneuroimmunology. Let's see if I can get that right. So many tongue twisters for me. So that's also fascinating, because I have experienced in the past just ailments in my body that I was told were kind of in my head. That didn't sit well with me. But so much research has been done since then, past 10 years really, just pointing to how our thoughts and how we handle stress can impact our body. And not only have I experienced it myself, I have witnessed it in friends and in clients. I mean, people can even have congestion because of stress that is undealt with. They can have psoriasis because of undealt with anger. People can have digestive issues, and God forbid people have all of the above because of not dealing with stress. So it's so important to deal with our stress. That trip was definitely one of those trips where we were immersed, with waterfalls and mountains, not the ocean, but music. And it was just a nice little stress reducer after kind of going intensely for the past several months with training and different things like that. So anyway, this week we are 16 weeks out. I am 16 weeks out. I guess you might be if you're coming along with me on this journey. I am 16 weeks out from New Year's Eve, which I said a couple of weeks ago was sort of this kickoff, if you will, to my really honing in on my plan or protocol for myself. And so that involves a whole foods diet, that involves making sure I'm getting enough electrolytes, that involves working out, heavy lifting, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, upper body, lower body, and a total. It involves doing some sprint sessions a couple times a week, certainly having rest sessions a couple times a week. You don't really have rest sessions, I suppose, unless you're doing deep breathing and stretching and so on. So there you go. I guess that's a rest session. Making sure that I'm hot and cold. So I love the sauna, and I'm growing to love coming home and taking a very cold shower afterwards. What's nice is in the winter months, it's just cold outside, so I can just stand outside. And let me tell you, after we made that trek up to Colchuck Lake, that water was so cold. Yes, I jumped in, which I would have never done in the past, but I jumped in, and I attribute my courage and bravery to actually doing the heat and cold and taking cold showers and taking cold baths to reduce inflammation. And inflammation is tied to disease as well, as we know. And if you don't know, it's a fact, it is true. So just working on back to my protocol, working on and getting back into the sauna and making sure that I am doing the cold showers again, the cold therapy. And then also just really making sure I'm getting into the sunlight, drinking enough water, all the things. And certainly now that I'm learning even more about the impact of stress on the mind and the brain and how that can impact the body in negative ways by way of creating pain or disease, certainly focusing even more so on making sure that my stress levels are, at the bare minimum. I mean, we're going to all have some degree of stress, but not living in a high stress level all the time, because that is certainly damaging. It can lend itself to cardiovascular disease, which we know is like the #1 killer in the world, I believe. I'm going to check that. It can lead to depression, it can lead to anxiety, it can lead to so many things that so many people are living with right now. And then of course, just making sure that I am stretching my body and releasing things that are tight by way of muscular tension and so on and so forth. So that's my update. I don't really have any numbers to update. I told myself I would pretty much be starting at square one or zero today. I will have my numbers from 2 weeks ago, and then I'll compare that to next Friday, and then I'll share. My cadence is hopefully to share once a week, so every Friday for the next 16 weeks leading up to New Year's Eve, going into 2023. I'm really looking forward to things that are ahead. On Monday, I start my next group mentoring session, number 7, which is crazy, over the past 4.5 years. And then I'm also continuing to work with the 9 clients and opening up a couple spots for more in October. And it's just really cool. I'm really blessed and honored to come alongside others who things start to click and fall into place. And the information I'm learning from people like Dr. Andrew Huberman and Dr. DiNicolantonio, maybe I got it right that time, that I'm applying and that I'm able to then modify and tweak, and then I'm able to share with others in conjunction with what I've learned as I've become a certified health coach and nutrition consultant and holistic fitness specialist, and now mind-body integration specialist. So it's just so awesome to be able to pay that forward and share it with others while I'm also applying it in my own life, because like I said, I want to be a health coach that practices what she teaches, and so it's just really important for me to share that, and I hope it's an inspiration for you to grab hold of your health and your life and to learn and apply and modify and tweak and really view your life. I tell my clients, view this as an experiment. All too often we receive this idea that we think we're supposed to do gung-ho, and we can't really control how our body responds to it, and it might require modification. So we can start with a hypothesis, we can place all the variables in place, and then we can execute. And then we might have to modify and tweak the variables, and that's okay. We have this all or nothing mindset or do not fail type mindset, and that can be stressful when we have to modify it and we think that we're like giving up in some regard, or we're going slower than what we wanted to. I'm learning in my lecture this week, it shares how people want that motivation or the willpower to be instantaneous, because everything is instantaneous, and sometimes that has to be built up and come from an intrinsic motivator and an intrinsic drive, and that might take time. And a lot of times, if we're driven by emotion only, that will fizzle and fade very soon. The time frame I typically see with clients is about the 2 to 3 week mark, where things just aren't happening fast enough. We connected from an emotional response, and then boop, you just want to throw in the towel. So for those who continue on and they're like, no, this has to change. What do we do to tweak and modify this week or just today? So looking at it from a long-term lifestyle vantage point of, okay, I'll take it one day at a time. Okay, this is starting to work. Now I'll take it 1 week at a time. Okay, now 1 month at a time. and just really establishing the behaviors. Dr. DiNicolantonio also shares, like, don't view your nutrition and your exercise and those types of behavior modifications as something where you're going to lose weight and you're going to start feeling better right away. Utilize that as the first month of just establishing a rhythm of grace, and really settling into a groove. And then once you're in the groove, hopefully it'll be like, it'll be fun. Of course, there'll be twists and turns and, I don't know, maybe some corkscrews along the way, but it'll be a ride that you can enjoy and really bless yourself with health and wellness, vitality, and my prayer is a thriving, optimal life. All right, take care. Have a great Friday. I'll see you next week.